All right, we are here with a couple of senior girls lacrosse players, Sarah Jane Ryan and Sara Murphy-Payne. Really excited to be joined by you both. Y'all both been part of this program for 4 and 5 years, right? So what are some things, just as we enter this spring season, I know you guys haven't played any games yet, but what are some goals and expectations that you all have for the lacrosse season?
At first, we just want to focus on controlling the controllables, just like making sure that we're keeping up with our stick work and passing. Because once we get that part down, then the rest of things will flow. We just want to make sure we understand work hard, effort, being able to catch and throw. That's the big things we want to focus on.
Yeah, and it's a rebuilding year, so we have a bunch of new girls. So just making sure that we're including all of them in every drill and making sure they're understanding concepts for next year.
So I was really impressed with both of you this fall as really the backbone of the defense on a field hockey team that was able to win the LIS regular season and make it all the way to the state championship. And I felt like you guys were really great leaders on that team. But how do you take what you learned this fall in terms of leadership and translate it now to a totally different sport? Obviously some of the same players, but also some different players. Just what are some of the lessons that you're hoping to bring out here back to the field here at Aycock Stadium?
Yeah, so it's definitely a different group, and the thing that we always take over is just respect and effort, because those are things that you don't have to teach or have a skill for. It's just coming out on time every day, making sure that you're prepared, paying attention, because that's what's going to get us together as a team. That's the one thing that I think that universally we want to add on both the teams that we've been a part of.
Yeah, I feel during field hockey season we really had to focus on making sure people were paying attention during drills and making sure that we were getting better during practice, and I feel that was how we got to the level that we were able to during last season.
And then you mentioned there's quite a few new players. For you all as seniors who've been in this program for so long, are there any particular new players who've caught your eye in these early practices that you're excited to see out there?
We're really excited. She's an 8th grader, and she's I think she's almost taller than both of us.
Yeah.
She's great stick work. Just all around, we're really excited to see her play.
She's very focused and pays attention. So
and really sweet.
Yeah.
Really nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, we certainly enjoyed watching Lily as well. And basketball season started on the basketball team as an 8th grader, so that's an impressive resume already that she's got going. And then Sarah, for you are going to be playing next year at Winthrop at the Division I level. Just can you talk about, are there any things that you can individually work on this season here with high school lacrosse that might help translate for you playing at the Division I level next year?
Yeah, well, I unfortunately wasn't able to have a fall season this past year, so I'm just kind of focusing on getting back and focusing on some of the basics, but really getting myself ready and fit for the college level this year.
You excited for that?
Yes, I'm very excited.
That's great. Well, thank you both so much for joining us. You guys are a real credit to your programs, and I know your leadership is going to be awesome for this team.
Thank you.
All right, we are thrilled to be joined by girls lacrosse coach Margie Snead. And Coach Snead, back out here on this field where you spend a lot of time in the fall, can you just talk about the differences for you having to wear hats of two different, myself, I obviously have coached 2 different sports, and how do you switch off from one to another?
Well, both seasons have a completely different vibe. So your fall season, people are coming off the summer. They have more free time. There's build up to that, summer workouts. There's just a completely different feel. When you're coming into a spring sport, you're finding time in the winter when school is already going. It gets dark early outside. Weather is an issue. So they do have a different feel coming into the seasons, which helps you kind of change your mindset a little bit. There's a different expectation of preparedness based on what they've been through coming into the season. We do have a little bit of a longer but yet slower build up to the lacrosse season, and then it's fiercely compact in terms of where the games fall. So you have to prepare differently because it's, the fall feels more like a marathon, and this feels more like a sprint to the finish. You're working around spring break, you're working around junior work week. So I think that's what helps me differentiate the two is the time, of the year and the flow of the school year.
What do you like best about lacrosse season?
I think for me, it's like everything else in the school year. It's kind of the culmination of things. So for some of our stronger athletes, they're in their 2nd and 3rd season. They're looking towards the end of the school year. There's a celebratory feel around the spring season, and you're coming off sort of the gloom and doom of the winter months. So there is its own excitement about that. I think lacrosse is sort of a bigger, faster game than field hockey, with it being played in the air and it's aired out a little bit more. It's not exactly a this is my half, this is your half game. It's a different feel. It's like basketball on a 100-yard court. I like that aspect of it. The fact that you can play behind the cage adds a little bit of a different twist to things. So I just like switching things up, and I like the pace of the game. And when it's played well, it's absolutely beautiful. So
absolutely. Couple of your seniors, Sara Murphy-Payne and Sarah Jane Ryan, joined us a few minutes ago, and they just talked about their excitement around a lot of new faces this year. So can you just talk about trying to, as we all deal with as coaches, trying to take what you have coming back and returning experienced players and then bring into that culture your new athletes?
I think for us, there's so many things that are new. For those that don't know, we started the season last year without the turf field. So we were putting together places on campus and going off campus to practice. So there wasn't a lot of continuity to the first part of the season. And then we were plagued with injuries last year. So we have some kids that are sophomores and juniors that not only did they not get their COVID year, but last year they were in and out and may have played 2 or 3 games for us the whole season. And they are contributors. So I think the excitement for us is we're getting back probably 4 players that had very limited play last year. That will be significant contributors, and we have a couple of young folks that are going to be new to the roster that are going to be significant contributors. So it feels almost like a brand new squad because the folks that were playing last year were so young, and some of the people that are going to be returning are older and are experienced and won't need the same type of ramp up as a brand new 8th or 9th grader would.
And just one more question for you, because I'm always impressed and really in awe of your coaching philosophies and the way that you're able to kind of create a vision for each season. So to put you on the spot for this season, what is the Margie Snead outlook for how you're going to build this particular team this particular spring?
I think for us this season, it's rise up. You know, last year we were coming off of a COVID year. It was really about the joy of playing, mental health of our athletes, coming out, spending time together. This was really the only time we were without masks and we were spending good quality time together. So it was so much about community, well-being, and building each other up. This year it is about taking lacrosse to the next level. It's about getting back to who we are, playing the lacrosse that we're able to play, and really rise up. Let's take what we know, let's take who we are, let's take this bonding that we've done and rise up and play at a higher level. So that is what we are hoping for this spring. I hope it'll be fun to watch, I hope it'll be fun to play, and I'm just excited to see what they can do.
I love it. Well, great to hear from Coach Snead. As always, check out girls lacrosse this season right behind us on the turf here at Aycock Stadium. Thanks so much, Coach.
Thanks, Rick.